Hello, this is Beth Phillips. I'm the publisher of PAHomeschoolLaw.com, which is a website that helps parents understand and to navigate the homeschool law in Pennsylvania. Today, I thought I would re-record a demonstration of how to prepare an affidavit, and just to show you how easy it is and hopefully minimize some intimidation and fear about how to start a home education program in PA. So let's get started. I think I can demonstrate this in about 5 to 10 minutes at the most. So let's go. So first, you can find a form or a template for an affidavit on my website, which is PAHomeschoolLaw.com. You can find other versions of affidavits or create your own as long as it includes all the elements that are required by the law. I recommend mine because it is one page and you can put up to at least 4 children on mine. You can add more if you want, but other forms tend to be longer. They can be 2 to 3 pages long because they include text and language that is not required on the affidavit. So that's why you can feel free to use the form that I recommend. So if you click on this Resources tab in the menu bar, you'll get a drop-down menu, hopefully. There it is. Scroll down and click on forms. Here we go. And this page pops up, and just click this button and the PDF will pop up on your computer. Feel free to save this. At the moment, I'm not asking for an email. If at some point I ask for an email to deliver this, don't feel bad about unsubscribing. Just get your forms and unsubscribe if you're not interested in getting emails or updates or any other kind of information. That never bothers me. All right, so I think the affidavit is like on page 4 or 5. There it is. And this little packet also includes a template for proposed educational objectives, which should be attached to the affidavit for the elementary and the secondary level. But for now, we'll just talk about the affidavit. All right, so I don't think if you download that packet, I don't think this will be editable like the one I'm going to show you, so you can just write in the information. It does not have to be typed. All right, so this top line is information that actually does not have to appear on the affidavit, so you can decide not to fill this out, but I do it just as a matter of courtesy and maybe as an extra measure to make sure that the affidavit gets to where it's supposed to go. So let's say just using a random school district, making up the superintendent's name. They're usually a PhD, so I'm just making this up. And that's that. So let's go to paragraph 1. Statement 1, in this line you put the supervisor of the home education program. And if you don't know what the minimum qualifications are to be a supervisor, please refer to PAHomeschoolLaw.com. You can do a search for, I think, minimum qualifications of supervisor or just supervisor, and that article should pop up. But make sure you know that and understand that before you decide who is going to file as the supervisor, because that person is taking legal responsibility that the requirements of the home education program will be satisfied. All right, in section 2, you can list, my form is for 4 children because I have 4 children. You can add children on the side if you have more than 4 who are compulsory attendance age. You can use this form to just use it as a template and add more if you want to create your own form, or you can just add another page with your other children and just indicated that there are more. So make sure, though, that you're only listing children who have reached compulsory attendance age, which recently the law changed to children between the ages of 6 and 18. So if your child is 6 by September 1st of the beginning of the school year, you should list them on the affidavit. So let's make up, and let's say Sam is, I have to do this because it doesn't work the other way. Let's say Sam is 9. He's my only kid. All right. Section 3 requires, and the law requires, that you list the address and telephone number of the home education program. And then the telephone number, if you don't have a landline, just list the cell phone of the supervisor, just to make sure, I don't know, it requires it. You shouldn't really expect any calls, but in case they have to call, the school district has to call you for some reason, then just list a telephone number. Okay, Section 4 is self-explanatory. Statement 5, this language recently could cause some confusion. Up until a few years ago, common advice among homeschooling advocates is that the affidavit itself serves as proof that the immunizations and the other medical services required were provided, but school districts are required to maintain a record of immunizations even for home educated children, and they do so under like a penalty provision. They have to keep accurate records. So now the current advice, at least that I'm giving and some others in the homeschool community, is if you do not maintain an exemption, which must be provided in writing, if you don't maintain an exemption, you should provide a list of immunizations. So, and then as to the other medical services, I still maintain that the law does not require the school to keep records of that your statement on the affidavit satisfies that requirement, but some school districts accept that, some school districts don't, and many homeschoolers that I know don't want to fight that because it takes time and energy. So it's up to you how far you want to dig in. Sometimes just a note from your doctor that the service has been provided or the required medical services have been provided and are on record will satisfy that. So that is up to you. Section 6 says the home education program shall comply with the provisions of Section 1327.1 of the Pennsylvania School Code, and this notarized affidavit shall be satisfactory evidence thereof. And that language comes directly out of the homeschool law. I always include that language. And then the supervisor certifies that no person in the home, no adult living in the home has been convicted of one of the crimes listed in subsection E of section 111. So make sure you know what those crimes are. Oh, within 5 years. So finally, you've already, done all the filling in that you can until you get to the notary. Make sure you take it to a notary and don't sign it until you are there. And then you are good to go. This is ready to file. Then you just have to decide how you want to prepare your objectives. I have a couple of articles about, at least one article on that on the website, and samples in the packet that you downloaded. And again, you can, if those align with your objectives, go ahead and use it as is, or just use it as a guide. So I hope this helps, and good luck.